1, 2, 3. What's cooking, everybody? Is it me? I smell smoke. I'm Tom.
I'm Lady Bearica.
This is Lady Bearica. You're watching 15 Minutes of Fume, Tournament of Underdogs. Lady Bearica, what are you doing here?
You know, just enjoying the scenery here in LA.
Yeah, all 10 feet of visibility of it?
Yes, it's great. Love it.
Galen is actually not feeling well today because of the smoke. We were going to do like a 3-person video, exotic, helps kill, tie votes. But instead, it's just Bearica and myself.
It's just me.
Bearica is visiting from the faraway land of New York City.
Mm-hmm.
Has been recently COVID tested and is staying with us, so please do not be alarmed by the unmaskedness of the situation.
And if I cough, it's because of the smoke, not because of the COVID. That wasn't fake, that was a real cough.
And if I cough, it's probably because of dog allergies, because look who is with us.
You have dog allergies?
No, not really.
Oh, man.
It was just a clever way of introing
Can you see
All-Star.
JJ in the shot?
Look who's
JJ
here!
is here! JJ. He's like, let me down.
Official mascot of Tournament of Underdogs.
Everything.
So, how does this work? So Bearica is part of the New York City nightlife supergroup, the Nobodies, who are famous in the wrestling world in particular because you actually talk about wrestling.
Yeah, we have a YouTube series. It's on YouTube,
And
/ The Nobodies, and we just talk about wrestling. And actually, tonight, though, on that very same YouTube channel, we'll be celebrating, we do a pageant every year, not this year, called Mixed Nobody. So we're celebrating that with a show called Mixed Congeniality. It's celebrating our last 4 seasons of Mixed Nobody with our Mixed Congeniality winners. Tonight, YouTube, and a posthumous performance by Ariel Italic,
who has since retired from drag, has gone into the West.
She's dead.
While still staying as far east as possible. So tonight, that means everybody who would normally miss out on the Mixed Nobody pageant shenanigans can watch it on the YouTube channel, the Nobody's YouTube channel. And there's something that happened anyway in 2020. And many of you watching actually know that BPAL has sponsored the Mixed Nobody pageant in the past. We have a Nobody's Watching Wrestling perfume.
Mm-hmm.
We have a Mixed Nobody pageant perfume, which is one of the stranger perfumes that I have smelled. It's the
good.
Leather and weed and lime. So it's a strange brew. So I don't have to explain to you how a tournament works then.
No.
We got brackets. A tournament has brackets, and we all have made sure that our brackets are loaded with the worst-selling perfumes that we have. All of our underdogs, and we're pitting them against each other to see who stinks the least.
I'm the worst-selling drag queen in New York.
I'm telling you, we have authenticity dripping out of our beleaguered nasal passages. So our first matchup of the day then is Pride. That's ironic. And Strangler Fig. So,
real quick, speaking of Pride, if you go to Project Q&A on Facebook, you can go watch Southeast Kansas Gay Pride. Tomorrow night, I've curated some drag shows on their Facebook page. And since we can't be in person in Southeast Kansas, we're doing it digitally, like everything else.
It's almost like we planned it with the Pride sent to be here. We randomly created these matchups like over a month ago. And yet here you are.
You know what?
A visitor from the beyond with messages to share that are very timely indeed.
I do what I can.
Well, the Pride fragrance that we have is, of course, inspired by the 7 Deadly Sins. And then we have
I love those.
Strangler Fig, which is from our Rappaccini's Garden, kind of like a walk through the creepy garden collection of scents. So we're going to start with Pride.
Okay.
And Pride, it says Vanity in Extremis, the scent of Rabid Autour, Moroccan Rose, and Narcissus. So I guess this is some kind of like strictly floral scenario. So I've been saying for as long as anyone would ever listen to me that rose is like a diva scent.
I loved it. I love a rose scent.
And this is like with the rose and the narcissus.
It's a little dirty. It's a dirty rose.
It's got kind of like it reminds me of like a dry. It's like a dry. It's not sweetened up.
Yes.
And I don't remember what narcissus smells like on its own. This is a lot of sibilant S's for queers to pronounce on camera.
Pride, y'all.
Narcissus.
Pride, y'all.
Pride, y'all. It's really beautiful. I love a rose scent, and I've never worn this before.
I haven't either. I didn't even know.
It's kind of like a heavy, full-bodied, moody rose, and it reminds me, it has a bit of that dry crackle like in the zombie blend.
Everything that Tom said.
So now we move on to the Strangler Fig. It says, a glorious parasite. Once the seeds of the Strangler Fig find root in the bark of a tree, snake-like roots erupt and reach graspingly at the sky. The Strangler Fig then sprouts numerous epiphytic vines that strangles and surrounds its unwilling host. It's like a whole botany lesson here with this set. And finally snuffs the life from it. And the scent is rooty, woody, with deep green tones.
Rooty and woody.
Yeah, and figgy.
And figgy.
So here's the bottle. Do you wear any like fig scents? Have we sent? Do you know?
I have this one. I have this one in particular in my collection.
I'm a big fan.
I like it today. I don't always like this.
I haven't worn this. I have Gamora and we have Nasty Woman, which are two fig central scents.
I don't actually know what a fig smells like on its own.
They were not native to where I grew up. I don't remember encountering a fig outside of a Newton.
Is it a fig or a date that gets infested with bugs?
Oh, everything gets infested with bugs.
No, but like to actually create the thing that we eat.
Oh.
It's a fig, isn't it?
I have no idea.
Like wasps or something. Someone will know.
Tell us which...
I haven't winked at a camera in forever, and that felt so nice to do. Oh my god, you guys. You're welcome.
You're welcome.
I don't know what to do now.
So what I'm getting from this is... it's definitely kind of a sweet... It's the fig...
It smells old.
From our... Yes.
It smells like an old vine.
An old vine. This old vine.
This old vine, starring Bob Villa.
It's got like a nice sweet fig to it that does taste... It's kind of tasty. And then it's got like a nice woody component. It's like a fig Newton if the Newton part was made out of like sawdust. Yeah. Like a particle board
There's
Newton.
something that I'm smelling I'm not quite... It's sweet. Is it a little musky to you?
Oh, I think that's the fig. I think the fig it's the same kind of heavy sweetness as you might get in the musk. But for all I know, there could be musk in there. I don't know what our perfumer hath done, what she hath unleashed. Shall we try them side by side? They're two very different scents.
They are.
They're going to be very hard to compare, but we're going to do our goddamnedest. I'm smelling pride. I'm smelling the smell of pride. Gorgeous. Gorgeous rose.
I like it better on my skin. It's not as overwhelmingly rose.
I don't know exactly.
I can smell the foliage that surrounds the rose now, if that makes sense.
It does in a Marge Simpson way.
In a Marge Simpson way?
Yeah, because she keeps saying foliage, and everyone's like, it's foliage, and she's like...
Is it foliage?
It's foliage.
Foliage. Foliage is like when you're foiling a plan.
Yes.
Like in we just watched Addams Family last night, so it's like when you're fencing.
Oh yes, there you go with your foil.
Foliage.
Foliage
so,
is the wound.
It could be both. It could be a fresh cut foliage.
Foliage.
Foliage. Foliage. Fresh cut foliage. Fresh cut foliage. What is it?
Foliage.
Fresh cut foliage.
F-A-U-X.
Cut with a foil. Foiled, that has been foiled.
And I'm not picking out the other flower note, the narcissus.
Is a narcissus it's a flower?
Yes.
I didn't know this.
Yeah, it's named after the original narcissus who was so besotted with his reflection
that
he became a flower.
Laughter is truly the best medicine.
Medicine.
Laughter is the best medicine.
Laughter is the best medicine.
Well, this is speaking to my heart, but let's travel down to Strangler Fig Town and see what the figs have to say. All right, Strangler Fig. It's so it's like dry and crumbly, and it reminds me of that fig and oak bark one that we did recently. But
It
it's
smells
cheaper.
like home.
Like
If
define
that makes sense. It feels.
Like in the
It smells like okay.
In the like a prayer sense.
No, it smells no, definitely not. It smells like home on the range.
Sweet Home Alabama.
Which is, I'm from Kansas. Home on the Range is our state song. It smells like sitting like in the country where like you're just being wafted with many different scents.
Mm-hmm.
It's sweet.
It definitely has like
It's secure.
a sweet, natural, outdoorsy kind of scent.
Mm-hmm.
The fig has like a comforting
A little bit of dead wood.
envelope quality where it just feels like a hug.
It does feel it feels comforting, like home, if that makes sense.
This is a tough choice because I frankly really
forgot
like
where I put the rose.
both of them. You'll find
There
it.
it is.
Go hunting around like a truffle pig, but for roses. While you're thinking about what you're going to vote for, let's see if anyone added any recent reviews to the BPAL.org web forum.
Which you can do too.
You can.
Okay.
It's a great community, actually.
Strangler Fig. I think it feels like home sitting by your grandmother outdoors. Who might have like some...
Like a plate of Fig Newtons.
Something.
I made you a treat. No, she didn't make the Fig Newtons, did she?
Well, somebody had to make Fig Newtons before they became a thing.
Somebody did.
Somebody did. Not my grandmother.
So Pride on the forum, there are a couple of recent reviews from people... No, I spoke too soon. There is one recent review from someone that says they smelled jasmine in it. This is Zora on the forum that says that they smell jasmine. Which I'm not getting, but I'm not arguing that with you. They're attributing it possibly to the Narcissus note. It is really tough when you... Like, I don't have a really deep or broad range of floral scent notes, like, in my brain, because I grew up in a place where, like, biological life, like, can't flourish. So... but like a rose is a rose is a rose. And this is, as they say, is like a crisp green rose. And I kind of wish of when people come to the booth and stuff and they're looking for recommendations, rose is a common one. And we have so many that I could like pelt them with. And Pride is one that I kind of wish that I'd had in my repertoire to recommend people before. But now I have the present moment and I can say,
Pride.
Rose folk, this is for you. And then for Strangler Fig, we have... Someone says, Strangler Fig, this is Helix on the forum. Strangler Fig is one of my favorite scents of all time. I'm not saying they talk like this. It's just my reading voice. Sweet and creamy, but not quite gourmand. That kind of fits like what we were talking about. Green and sappy.
Mm-hmm.
It's at home on a walk in nature. It's like you read this. You said home. It smells like home.
Helix. Are you single?
Are you from Kansas?
Are you from Kansas? Do you have a grandmother that you love?
Do you have a grandmother?
With us or deceased? Doesn't matter.
They
love her.
They gave it this vote in the tournament. And so do you feel comfortable at this stage? Like if you had to pick one to advance in the competition, could you pick between these two?
Yes.
Okay, what is your vote?
Strangler Fig.
Well, that was very immediate. And on what basis?
I think Pride is a little overwhelmingly rose, and you can get that, and I do love it. I feel like Strangler Fig has more going for it. If you want a straight rose scent with a little bit of something undertones, then the Pride will work for you. But I think from the moment right now...
So I see what you're saying because honestly, my heart is saying Pride in this instance, but I
think
can't,
that's how I feel too.
I can't deny that Strangler Fig is kind of a more original scent that is harder to find. Like, there are no shortage of wonderful rose blends. And this one isn't particularly the rose. It's beautiful, but it's nothing. It's not like super original. It's great in the context of like the 7 deadly sins and being prideful and everything. But like conceptually, I would think that Strangler Fig is probably the one that I would push out as more like an interesting example of BPAL's work. And Pride is one that I would personally just hoard and treasure myself.
Same.
So
Hello.
it seems like we have a winner in this matchup. So the next match that we're doing today is, and everyone's gonna yell at me about the pronunciation of this. We have the Lovecraft scent, Earlia.
What?
R-L-Y-R-Lyeh, which people have different pronunciations for. I like Earlia. It's, you would never believe the variety of authoritative pronunciations.
I'm gonna say Arlia.
We can't even default to what Lovecraft would have thought on this, because Lovecraft's thinking was so fucked in so many ways that it's like, I don't even want to know how he would have pronounced it. So we're taking it for ourselves. And then the competitor is Schrodinger's Cat, which is, you know, based on that math thing that I probably was reading a Stephen King book in school while it was being explained to me.
I don't remember what Schrodinger's Cat is.
So the first one is yeah, we'll start with the Earlia.
Earlia.
Oh, really?
Earlia.
It's Earlia.
It says, okay, here we go. So this is the sunken city of the great god Cthulhu.
Earlia.
A hellishly dark aquatic scent, evocative of fathomless oceanic depths, the mysteries of madness buried under crushing black waters, and the brooding eternal evil that lies beneath the waves. So we're talking like a deep, dark, frightening oceanic blend. Which is funny because it's kind of
not what I
spicy.
expected with that description.
Yeah, it's definitely very.
I don't get the spice.
Hellishly dark is definitely an adequate description, so I don't feel misled. But I'm used to, like, the Cthulhu scent is like really heavy, like salty, kelpy, oceanic, and this, I guess we'll have to see what's on the skin, because it really smells kind of like dark but with like spice. It reminds me of one of the Skeksis perfume blends that we reviewed recently.
I could get the sweet and salty, a little
sweet
salty.
And salty. It's like a saltwater taffy.
Like a temptress.
Like a temptress.
She's leading you in.
Yeah.
Or they're leading you in.
So like a dark underwater city.
A siren.
Like Los Angeles will one day be. Okay.
That is dark.
Okay. This is honestly shocking to me, because I think that I just expected it to be like ferociously aquatic.
It's not.
And it just kind of isn't. It has a kind of an incensey quality.
Oh wait, you know, a little fresh bubble bath.
But like an evil bubble bath.
Yeah. Like killer bubble bath.
A killer bubble bath.
It's like that
just when you
Killer Donuts movie, but instead it's bubbles.
Like Mr. Bubble is like on a killing spree.
Ooh. I would join him on that. I would trust him.
I would trust Mr.
I would trust
Bubble.
Mr. Bubble to take me wherever I need to go.
This is why
down the drain.
We worry about you. It's among the reasons why we worry.
That is true. I've been told this a lot.
And then the competitor, Schrodinger's Cat. You know, it's the thing where it's like you can't find out if the cat's alive or dead without opening the box, and opening the box partially determines whether the cat's alive or dead or something. Did I mangle that? I wanted to go into it with my pure impression, and then everyone can just mock my ignorance.
Sure. I don't know anything about this.
I won't soak up time with reading out loud the description, probably because literally everyone watching this knows more about that theory than I do. So, and everyone who knows less about me would have the sense to just Google it. But the scent, it says, a paradoxical scent experiment: tangerine, sugared lime, pink grapefruit, oak moss, lavender, Zdravetz, Z-D-R-A-V-E-T-Z, which I have learned from the internet, from Googling, is a kind of sort of geranium-y smell.
Ooh.
And chocolate peppermint.
I feel like I'm already going to like this.
So this is a really strange brew. This is the kind of thing that no one else is making, maybe for a good reason. It's certainly not selling very well, we know that.
A little minty, licorice.
Oh, and then it's got the citrus.
Citrus.
And I can smell the lavender. I can
the
smell
moss. I
all
can
of
smell
these
every
things.
all of it separately.
It's like confetti in my brain.
This is why we worry about you.
Yes, and that's why you worry about me. I have confetti brain. I've always had confetti brain. Just ask my mom. Tangerine. I can smell.
I really love this.
I'm not getting the oak moss exactly out of the bottle, but I'm sure maybe
it takes a second.
Underneath on the skin, the lavender and the citrus is standing right the hell out. And just when I think I know what I'm dealing with, there's like a chocolate peppermint in my mouth.
Yeah. The mint, I smell a little sweet basil. I know that's not one of the notes.
No, but that's probably something like the...
Basil and mint are very close together.
Yeah, and when you've got that oak moss coming up from underneath, that's gonna give it like more of a savory quality. All right, so we're gonna put on these two very weird, very different scents side by side and decide arbitrarily which one of them more people should know about.
Really, I'm gonna say this up front. I think you should own both of them.
You already, well, you don't own any of these, do you?
I don't own either of those.
We could send you home with both of these if you want. Wouldn't that be a prize for participating in our little tournament? We've never had a guest judge before because people aren't allowed to be here.
You know what would be even more of a prize? If you follow me at the Lady Bearica at TheLadyBearica everywhere. Twitter, Instagram, and Venmo.
You know what? Go ahead and pause the video and take care of that right now. And we'll just sit and sniff the bottles.
Let's pause.
Let's see. Someone's calling me. Hello?
Please keep that in.
This is Blade Runner 2049 shit. Anyway, we're going to smell the Earlia.
Earlia.
So this is the fathomless oceanic depths and hellishly dark aquatic.
I smell the depth more now.
Yeah. I'm in the mini sub going down.
I was gonna say something similar, except I'm drowning in the bottomless pit that is in the ocean. Like, she got me at the surface, and now she's like leading me down. You know, like in Labyrinth, where they're like the hands. Is that Labyrinth? Where the hands bringing you down into the tunnel?
Did that happen in Labyrinth?
Yeah, and they're like or whatever they do, and they're making shapes.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
But it's under the ocean.
Yeah.
I feel like she's leading me down that path.
It definitely has like a sinking feeling, which I find really strange. Like
it does.
And it's tracking a little more aquatic for me, but it doesn't have that ferociously mineralic thing that I associate with like Irish Spring. And
I've got a sinking feeling. I like this.
It's a little sweet. Do you find it sweet?
Yes. It was sweet immediately when we smelled it earlier. But now it's got that depth, that seaweed, that ocean.
It's like
a darkness.
Like a pomander in Cthulhu's bathroom.
Very excited about that one.
That's what I'm thinking. Okay, so now we're going to wander down the arm to the Schrodinger's cat, which again is all of these citrus notes with oak moss, lavender, zdravets, and chocolate peppermint. Ooh, I'm getting spiked in the nose with lavender and chocolate peppermint.
The chocolate and the lavender and the citrus are all coming through. The citrus more so.
For me, the citrus has burned off. Can I smell it on you? Can we smell each other's arms? Fascinating. Yeah, you've got more tangerine, and I've got more oak moss. Kind of like padding.
What's that song in the 90s?
Smell my arm.
She uses tan. We can't sing more than that.
That's the only song you know.
Dreams.
I really like this because I'm a fan of lavender scents, and the chocolate and peppermint isn't like a really bold kind of like sweet sugary gourmand.
This is a hard one, y'all.
I wouldn't mind if it was sweeter and sugarier and had the tangerine and lime, but those are kind of like absent.
What are you smelling more on yours?
Definitely the lavender is like popping.
It's like equal parts lavender and citrus for me right now.
Fascinating. But it's overall, to me, like not super sweet, and so it's got this kind of nice, dry, spicy...
I feel like I'm high, but I'm just hungry.
Yeah.
But that's not because of the scents. That's because of me.
It's because of life choices.
Life choices.
That's because you, took care of yourself in some areas and not in others.
Not in others. You gotta be holistic right now, y'all.
Didn't know this video would come with a moral, did you?
Mm-hmm.
So, we'll get you to breakfast in a moment, but between the two, if you had to choose a standout, what would it be and why?
I'm really peering in this direction, but I don't actually know if I'm looking into the lens. But it's intense.
We should have gotten you some sunglasses to wear. Does that help?
This is perfect for my look today.
Okay, we should. There's probably going to be a glare, but it's fine.
I'll look down. And
let me look real quick and see what the vote, if there are votes in the forum. Someone named Doomsday Disco on the forum has posted to say that they and their boyfriend are Team Aurelia because they tried it on, and the boyfriend thinks it smells like a creamsicle on a forest floor, which is interesting. No. Well, they described Schrodinger's cat as a creamsicle on the forest floor and have ultimately voted for Aurelia.
Oh. Yeah. The creamsicle on a forest floor is accurate.
I would pick it up and eat it. I ate a chicken melt off the kitchen floor yesterday.
Just yesterday.
And we have 2 forum reviews because Demon Cat also posted here for Schrodinger and said, the impression I get is that I'm wandering through a market with piles of fresh citrus and herbs. There's a chocolatier a bit up the road with tempting wafts of confections being carried through the plaza on a warm breeze and a florist nearby tending a lush patch of ornamental moss. You know, I'm in that.
That was for
fantasy. It's like being in Solving.
That was for
Schrodinger.
God damn.
I know.
These are both very nice.
My vote is for Schrodinger because that's the one that I would wear. That's all I can say. The other one is unsettling to me in a way that I recognize as valuable and definitely on brand for BPAL. But I think Schrodinger is the stealth competitor. So
I just don't know.
It's all in your hands. If you can't decide, we have some tie-breaking votes from the forum.
I like the story that we came up with. Aria.
Oral. Oh, I just said oral.
I feel like I would wear Schrodinger's more.
Yeah. That sounds suspiciously close to a vote.
I'm going to go with Aria.
You are?
Yeah.
So we got one for Schrodinger, one for Aurelia. And if we're going to the forum...
I think it's Schrodinger.
It's Schrodinger because there's just more support there for it. More people love it.
But you know what? Like I said, both of these just...
really unusual. I mean, it's
both
tough.
Really unusual.
It's like a beauty pageant where it's like it's like between different species of animal. It's like, how do you decide what's more beautiful, like a slow loris or like a platypus?
It's like, how do you decide between JJ and me?
I mean, it's this. I don't know.
You have to have us together. Or else it just doesn't make sense.
I can't promise that layering these 2 scents will result in this level of cuteness.
Don't layer them,
and
but have them side by side for a choice.
And if anyone asks you what you're wearing, you won't be able to pronounce the answer. You'll just have to peer at them over your oversized.
Schrodinger's Aria.
And at that point, they're calling 411 because they think that you've escaped from a hospital. So it looks like Schrodinger's cat is winning today by virtue of tiebreaker vote from the forum. Thank you, everyone, from sounding off.
Thank you.
Ding, 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 ding. And that is literally all the time we have for today because I am short of breath from trying to inhale pure ash.
Don't breathe.
If you can help
deeply.
It. Yeah, shallow breaths.
Shallow breath.
Please breathe inside your heart.
No yoga.
I don't know. Just like lay there.
Like, do something nice for yourself today.
I think you just did. I think you already just did.
You did. See you at YouTube tonight.
Yes. Mixed Nobody Congeniality Pageant tonight. 6 p.m. Eastern? No, 6 p.m. our time. 9 p.m.
6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. Figure it out for the rest of you.
And Kansas Pride tomorrow.
I don't know what time it is. 6.
She's traveling.
6:30 Central.
So
follow Project Q&A on Facebook.
Thank you for tuning in to Tournament of Underdogs. We'll slam out some more of these episodes next week. We're getting really close to round 2. We just have a few last matchups to slog through. So stay cool, everyone. Sorry the world's on fire. Bye. Galen says bye.